Man, is it bright out here. I'm gonna try to record this without squinting too much, but yeah, that sun's blaring right at me. Hey everyone, Aaron here with Talents of Today. Now we're doing a very special feature today, and we're probably gonna continue this series and what we're about to do. And so let me go ahead and tell you, right? We are gonna do a behind the scenes of the completed product of our guest that's been on the show. So right now, as you can see, right behind me is, if you can't see it, I can't even see the glare on this thing, is there we go, QandP Designs. It's our very first guest. It's with Quentin Gardner on QandP Woodcraft. If you haven't heard excuse me. If you haven't heard the podcast, go on anchor.fm or go to talentsoftoday.com and you can listen to that and check out Quentin's story. But today we're going to be able to see behind the scenes of one of their finished products to see what they're doing. And I'm going to take you quickly through the workshop. Right now, Quentin's out. He's going to get supplies and all that. And naturally, as a businessman, I want to make sure that he can run his business. So we're going to take a time, look around while he's not there. So we can let you see inside his workshop. By the way, I've gotten his permission beforehand. I'm not just roaming around going through doors and offices like, oh, what's this? No, I've gotten his permission. So let's go ahead and take a look. By the way, this show has been brought to you by Zerv and the website Mill. Check them out. Zerv is, we provide tech support and all kinds of tech stuff. Our slogan is we do tech. The website Mill, we offer affordable, great responsive websites for you. We will take care of everything if you want it. Check it out, thewebsitemill.com. Okay, let's go ahead and step inside and see what all QandP Designs has to offer. Okay, so we're inside. So as you come inside, you're gonna be noticing, that's an alarm. Excuse me. As you come inside, you're gonna be noticing a nice walkway. This is where typically the offices are. I gotta remember to look at the camera, right? Yeah. So check out this. So this is what you see whenever you walk into QandP Woodcraft. It's pretty cool. You got all the nice offices in here, supply room, all the fun paints that they use. So we're gonna open up this door right now. And here's the workshop. This is a wonderful workshop of QandP Woodcraft and QandP Designs, or actually I should say the offices for QandP Designs were behind me. So this is behind the scenes. And hopefully, let me step out of the frame. Man, I'm so close with this, one sec. All right, hopefully we're gonna be able to see, oh, I'm stepping over all kinds of stuff. Hopefully we're gonna be able to see them work on this whole thing. What they're gonna be doing is staining that entire cabinet. It's gonna be super legit. I am really stoked by this. So this is what they do. If you haven't heard of what we talked about Quentin beforehand at QandP Woodcraft, they work on cabinets. So these cabinets right here is super legit. My gimbal is focusing way too hard on this, so one sec. All right. So right here, look at these cabinets. They do a phenomenal job on this work. Great craftsmanship. Way more than I can ever do, clearly, because I do only tech. So let's check out on this area. Readjust the camera real quick. There we go. And again, stepping on the cord. So right in this way, we're gonna be checking, this is the paint room. So what they do, they paint all these cabinets and they install it on location as well. So you see all these cool cabinets that they're about to paint later on today. Again, got to get my camera straight, excuse me. Look at all this stuff. So it's really cool. So you were able to see a nice behind the scene of what this workshop has to offer. Quentin's going to be by soon, and we're going to show you watch them actually start the staining process. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't know anything about this stuff. All I do is tech, so I'm excited. All right, we're going to tune back in with Quentin, and he's going to just walk us around and talk to us. Okay. Okay, so we are now ready. We've got Quentin coming over here, and he's right now picking up wood. So if you hear sound right now, he's mic'd up, and so he's now trying to find the right wood that he's going to walk us through on some of these awesome cabinets that we just looked at. Okay, here we go. Here's Quentin. Hey, there we go. Quentin, thank you for being on the show again today.
Absolutely.
We've done, sorry, I need to get you in frame. Let me get this camera working.
There
we go. There we go, that's better.
Fancy.
So I know, fancy, right? So we've gone over a lot of the stuff that you do, and it's been a lot of fun stuff. Now, I was talking with your great employees over here, but earlier off camera, we were talking about the different types of wood that you guys use on the cabinets.
Sure.
Now, again, as I've mentioned before, I know nothing of this. I'm a complete noob to this thing. So go ahead, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me go ahead. I'm gonna actually switch the camera around, so
Okay.
1 sec. All right, sir, so what do you got for us?
So most of our cabinets that we make, if they're paint grade, they're going to be made out of mostly poplar. This is for the face frames.
So what is that?
This is poplar.
Okay.
It's called poplar. It's a hardwood, but it's on the lower end of the density of hardwoods. But it is still considered hardwood. It's a very smooth grain, so you don't have a lot of grain popping out. Like when if we use a stain, we usually like to use a white oak or an alder. And the reason why we use this for staining and not for painting is because the grain is so, I don't know how to say it, it kind of pops out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And so if you try to paint it, you're going to see all the wood grain in it. With poplar, it's a nice smooth finish. You don't see any of the wood grain. It's nice and smooth and flat. Those are the two main ones that we've been building with recently. We also do a lot with alder, which this is a kind of a poor example, but if you sand it down and stain it, it looks real nice. Some of the other options, this is just a piece of walnut that I've had around. This is a very expensive wood. It would be very expensive cabinets if we went with this, but it's very nice, very, very high-end stuff right here.
So what makes it so expensive? Is it just rare?
I guess the rarity of it, yeah, the rarity of it and the demand of it. So most of the times when we use alder for cabinets, most of the time we stain it dark walnut, and we're trying to achieve this look right here.
Okay,
And
so a lot of people like this look.
A lot of people like this look. It's a great color. It's nice brown color, you know, and it goes good with anything pretty much. So those are some of the options. There's also hickory. There's also we've got some, what is that? Oh gosh, mahogany. Mahogany is a really good one. Red oak is another one. This is white oak. Red oak is pretty much just like this. It just has a red tint to it.
So you said that's white oak?
This is white oak, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful wood. Very dense, lasts forever. It all lasts forever, but yeah, so there's that. So kind of first the process is whenever we get the wood in, we unload it here, take it over there to the wood racks, and that's kind of where we start. We start with building the boxes first. So we have to cut those, and to do that we use the panel saw right here.
What is that called again?
This is called a panel saw.
A panel saw.
And
let me get a wide shot on this thing. This thing is huge. Try not to trip over everything. Look at that thing. All right, I'm gonna zoom in real quick on this. A panel saw. So I'm guessing it's because of these really big piece of cabinet that we just looked at that you're working on staining today, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this thing has made my life so much easier. We used to do it all in a table saw.
Are you serious?
Trying to cross cut, like let's say if you have to cut a piece of plywood in half, you want to cut 4 foot, that's almost impossible to do on a table saw.
I was gonna say, don't you have to be really steady on that and like hold your breath and pray that this thing cuts straight?
You have to stand on 1 foot,
yeah, exactly.
hold one hand in the air, it's terrible.
Hold a rabbit's
foot. It makes it a lot easier. You can cut up and down with it, put it in there to your exact measurements, or you can flip it over. Like that.
I feel like I'm watching the master at work.
You set your height on it and then you run it through that way. And so this thing is just a million times safer, and it's a great piece of equipment. So it's Safety Speed is the brand of it. So.
Wow. So what else you got? Show us.
So that's where we start. That's where most of it takes place, and then after that we start. Once we have all the pieces cut, we can start putting all the boxes together. Once we have all the boxes together, we can start doing the face frames of it. These are the face frames. And so basically what we do is I have a sheet with my nifty program. It tells me exactly what to cut, so everything is precision. With that program, we can order the doors, we can cut drawer boxes before we have any cabinet boxes even built. So that's the next step, is assembling the face frames. We do that just right over there on the miter saw. And we have our face frame rack just right there, so it's easy to take down and start cutting.
Nice.
Very simple.
So now, I'm sorry, what is that saw called again?
That's a miter saw right there.
A miter saw?
A miter.
Miter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes miter cuts.
Okay.
Don't ask me what miter means. Except for...
See, I was having a hard time just pronouncing it, so there we go.
And if we need to do... if we need to do smaller pieces, or sometimes, like right now, we have a dado blade on.
So this is the table saw that you were telling me about that you were... Now, and I know, as we've got people that are listening right now, and this is West Texas, so a lot of people are probably thinking, how in the world do you not know what a table saw is? And well, when you're a nerd like me, I just stayed around computers and tech. So, now this is also what you mentioned before, that you had to cut those big panels beforehand, right?
Yes. Yep.
To get that thing.
Yes, especially back when I was doing this in my garage by myself. I mean, this was how I started. I had a table saw, I had a miter saw, excuse me, and that's about it.
Wow.
So that's pretty much all you really need to start. Of course, you need your air compressor, and you need some pneumatic air guns, staple guns.
So that's the air presser that pretty much is for the nail guns, right?
The assembly of it, yes, yeah. We assemble everything with nail and glue. Nails and glue. All the face frames are put together. If you come around here, you can look inside. Yeah. They're all put together with pocket holes, screws, and then they're glued together as well for extra support. So
okay, let's see if I can get this camera up in here. Excuse me, folks, for while you're watching this, look. Okay. So yeah, that would probably be a whole lot easier with that nail gun, right?
Absolutely. Okay. And yeah, after that we start assembling the drawer boxes.
Oh, so you even assembled the actual drawers themselves?
We actually assemble the actual drawer boxes. We pre-cut all of these. The bottom pieces go through there. So these are cut to size and then put through there. Cut them all in squares, and then we basically just put them together right here. This is a kind of a bigger one. I think this goes under a stovetop. They're all sanded. Sometimes we paint them. Pretty much whatever the customer wants. We can either paint them, or we can just put a clear coat over them just like they are and have the natural finish on it.
Nice.
Which is, either way is a pretty option.
Yeah. So now after you get this done, I'm not saying like, oh, hey, I'm in part of this. Yeah, I don't think you want that. After you get these assembled, and then you get the spray out to stain it, right? Or,
yes. Yeah,
or is that right, or am I wrong?
No, absolutely. So we spend a lot of time sanding on these, especially with white oak. You have to sand them pretty high grit. We start at 80. We go up through all the grits. So we go 80, 120, 150, 180.
So does that mean the smoothness, or
that is the smoothest? The higher the grit is, the smoother this is going to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the higher the grit also can affect the stain. So if you want a more bold stain on there, you can stain it at 80 or 120 and leave it, and it'll be a darker stain. So if you want a lighter stain on it, you go up to 180, even 220, sometimes 300, and you get a lighter stain, more of the wood on that.
Gotcha.
So that's maybe a little bit more detail than people want to know, but
no, this is all good.
Yeah,
I want the reason why we have this behind the scenes specialist, so that way people can see what you do and
absolutely
know that it's not just, hey, we blink the eyes and it magically appears. You have cabinets, and so that's the exciting.
Yeah, it's very time consuming, especially with stain cabinets. The reason why stain cabinets are so much more than painted is just because the wood's more expensive, and the amount of labor, the amount of time that it takes to actually get it to where you want it is a lot more than just painted cabinets.
Wow.
So
that's really cool.
Yes, sir.
So now you saw the video. I was already walking people through the paint room. You want to take us back there real quick and actually get the master's words behind?
It's a little bit of a mess.
It's a workshop,
Aaron
sir.
kind of surprised me a little bit.
I did surprise him.
You did say that I would call first, but hey, that's okay. That's fine.
I did say that. I did call. No one picked up. So naturally, I'm a good host and says, hey, I'm stopping by anyways.
Right. Hey, I'm here. Oh, crap. So yeah, so this is the paint room. It is a mess.
Now, if our viewers are watching, you know, this is a workshop, this is a business. So please note that, like, why is it so messy? Well, it's because they actually do business here.
That's right, and we can look at the finished product in the hallway
Yeah.
again and see that.
I'm going to
it
go on
does
this
look clean.
side because the lighting's messing up.
There we go.
Turn around.
So yeah, so these are the painted cabinets. We fill all the holes, any cracks, we caulk all the seams and everything, and then we will put a primer on it. We use lacquered, we use a tinted lacquer mostly for primer and for paint. Very rarely will we do a latex. We started out doing latex and I couldn't get the finish that I wanted, so we actually ended up going to lacquer just because the hardness of it is, it's so much more long lasting. It's just much of a, like if you get latex paint, you can kind of dig your fingernail in there and peel it off.
Oh,
with
really?
tinted lacquer, you can't, you need basically a little chisel to get that stuff off.
That makes so much more sense now.
Right.
Why, like, do they do the same thing with walls? Like with the different types of paints on walls? Like,
yeah, except they'll use, I don't think they'll use lacquer, they'll use an oil-based paint sometimes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Now that makes more sense why, I mean, some of them I'm able to just
Yes.
peel off. It's like,
Right.
wait, how in the world did that peel off? So,
Shouldn't be able to do that.
yeah.
So yeah, so we did go to tinted lacquer, and we spray it with primer. Then we have to sand everything down while we're spraying, not to the bare wood, just to smoothness. And then we'll do that once, sometimes twice with primer, and then we'll go over it with 1 to 2 coats of the top coat.
Wow.
Yes.
Very cool. So, man, there's so much stuff that is that goes into cabinetry making. It's so intriguing. So, already then. Well, then
All
let's go ahead. I think they're about to stain right now, right?
I think so, yeah. We'll get the stain ready and we'll start doing some samples on some wood first to see which one we want. We may have to thin it a little bit. We may have to, sometimes you wipe it on, and depending on how long you leave it on there, it will affect the contrast of it. So it'll be more stain on it or less stain on it.
Gotcha.
I think we're going for, on this cabinet, we're going for a very subtle white look.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably put it on there real quick.
Whoa. My gimbal's just all of a sudden decided to go all over the place, huh? There we go. Yeah, wake up, buddy. That was weird. Like all of a sudden the camera frame just like zoom. Well, that was not expected.
We'll probably wipe it on real fast and take it right off, and to get that nice subtle white look.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Well, then let's. We're going to check out that shortly.
Let's go do it.
Okay.
Good.
So, whoa, I'm stepping on stuff. Sorry, guys. So this is Quentin and his team. Go ahead. You want to introduce?
Yeah. So we're gonna do some stain samples
not?
at first. Introduce Juan and Uzio. They're part of the team. Yeah.
You guys can wave.
There we go.
There you go. The bearded men.
Yeah, bearded. Right. We're all about the same height, same build. It's kind of cool. But yeah, these guys are pretty much the heart and soul of QandP Designs. When I hired both of these guys, I mean, it just started taking off from there. So I don't know, you got to have a good team, and these guys are the best.
Nice.
That's why we're the best in West Texas at cabinet building. So
There you go.
we're going to continue to get better.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We talked about this before, that actually off camera, Juan was the one that was showing me the different types of wood and introduced me to popple wood. Am I saying that right still?
poplar.
See, what, poplar?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't saying it right. There we go.
It's popular without the U. There you go.
Nah, I promise I'm educated. Here we go. So, must be this many to operate a camera. So let's go ahead and walk us through the process of what you guys are doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start. I'll actually have the guys do this since they actually have gloves on. We'll do a little stain sample first. When I first started staining stuff, like 10 years ago, I would not mix up the stain, which is really stupid. You always have to mix up your stain.
Oh, you didn't mix it up when you first started?
No, I was too lazy. I'm not anymore. Maybe you should cut that out.
Say what?
Maybe you should cut that out.
Well, you know what? Hey, we learn and grow, right?
We'll get a rag. So we'll just do just a piece. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and wipe it off, see what that looks like. So that's a very subtle white. You can barely tell it's there. We might actually do a little bit more. Let's try the piece over there and we'll leave it on a little bit longer.
This is such a much smarter way than I would have thought, because I mean, I would have just like, all right, here we go, we're gonna paint it.
No, there's definitely an art to it.
Okay.
So we'll leave that on there for, I don't know, maybe about 30 seconds or so.
So we leave it on there for 30 seconds to let it soak in more?
We'll let it soak into the wood,
Yeah.
kind of get into the grain. And then we'll try a small piece on the, somewhere innocuous on the face frame.
Gotcha.
All right, let's try that.
This is where we insert track music while we wait.
Montage time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I know, it is a very, very light stain. Looks good.
It is white oak.
It's white oak with white, so let's try some on the face frame. Yeah, just at the bottom.
See, for me, this is so intriguing to be a part of this process, because
I know
I've
it's
never
good.
done anything like this, so it's like, wow.
It's just in the green.
It's just in the green. We did these at 120. Let's go ahead and stain this whole thing. Let's stain it all, and then when it's completed, we'll wipe it all off.
I don't know if my audience finds this the same, but I find it so therapeutic watching you guys paint this thing. It's like, wow.
So this is a, let's see, where does this go? I think this is the stovetop. We'll have a false front on the top one, and then the bottom two will be actual drawers. And so we don't actually stain the inside of this cabinet just because it's just full of drawers, you know.
Gotcha.
Like this one right here, this big guy right here, we'll stain
Step out of-
everything all around it. All on the outside, all on the inside. We spray a clear coat lacquer on the outside when we're done. We usually let it dry for about 24 hours with this stain.
Really?
Yep.
Well, here we go. Come on, wake up, Gimbal. Come on. There you go. Stop falling asleep on me.
I think so. Yeah. Put this one up beside it. Kind of see the difference of it.
Go ahead. I'm in your guys' way. You go.
Yeah, that looks good. So we'll do that. We'll take a couple of pictures. I'll probably even invite the customer over to come look at it and get their approval on it first. And if they like it, we'll go from there. If they want something more pronounced, a little bit more whiter, then we can do that. Or if they want something less, then there's not much less than you can go with that, but you know.
So that's neat. So you actually let the customer see before the actual finished product.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, is this the process you want to go with it?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, we'll do that with every every piece that we do. I want to make sure that the customer gets
Come on.
exactly what they're
We're gonna have to
wanting.
really check out this gimbal. It's like all of a sudden, hey, we want to fall asleep now. Come on, there we go.
The people pay really good money for this, so I want to make sure that they get, you know, everything that they want. You know, make sure that it's exactly what they want, so they're 100% happy with it.
Nice, very nice. Alrighty then. All right, so now, as you can see with the stabilizer, it might not be as stable right now because that thing was failing on me. I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to do some tweaking on that thing. But I want to say thank you to Quentin. We've got, let me point right, Juan, Huzio, and them for showing us of how to stain and get these beautiful cabinets done. So we very much appreciate your guys' time and letting me barge in and take a look around even when Quentin's not here.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Welcome. And if you guys haven't already, I need to remember, look at the camera. If you guys haven't already, go to facebook.com, check out QandP Woodcraft, QandP Designs. Like, follow, subscribe, all the fun stuff so that way they get the word out for this incredible business. All right. Tune in next time. We've got another special treat on another guest of Let's Celebrate Bakery. We'll be filming them. Hopefully next week we'll be showing you that footage as well. So it's a fun footage. Did you guys like this?
Loved it, yeah.
Yeah, did you guys have fun? Yeah? Was it nervous being on camera? Yes. Yes, Juan is like, yes. Who's just like, whatever.
He's a new front man.
There you go.
He's a face.
The face of QandP Woodcraft. Now you know. So tune in next time and we'll see more talents that have turned into businesses. All right, talk to y'all later.